Very good evening to all of you. As per our earlier recordings, we had learned about different documentation methods, right? Test cases, functional specification document, user cases, right? Everybody recollects? Yes?
Yes.
Do you remember, guys? We learned about different types of documentation required for ongoing businesses, how you can document, how you can come up with different, I would say, set of documents to share with the customer for our own understanding and how it will help us to run the business, like test cases for testing, BRD or FSD, that is business requirement document, and functional specification document for our understanding to the, and to get it signed from the customer and stakeholders. So our next journey is understanding different domains. Okay. When I say different domains means in our professional setup, we get projects, we get work from variety of domains. Okay. Now, for your understanding, domain is a segment or a department. Okay. In easier terms. Now, what is a domain? Domain means any industry or any specific area from which you're getting work. Okay, there are multiple domains like banking is a domain, insurance is a domain, medical is a domain, hospitality is a domain, you know, education is a domain, human resource is a domain. So every segment in your life, that we get services from, that is a domain. Everybody with me on this?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that is why when somebody works in a particular medical related services or some facility, we said, oh, he's from medical domain. I know we don't use it on daily basis, but this is a very typical professional word in day-to-day life. So why domains are important? Because now give me a second. In your professional experience, whenever you get any projects, they can be from different domain. Okay. Generally, we are not expecting every project manager or every person in the team to be well equipped or to know everything about a domain, because it is humanly impossible. There can be some teeny miny activities, tasks which might be different, which might be in detail. But as a IT professional, as a BA, as a Scrum Master, as a product owner, it is always in your favor to know some of the most popular, some of the most, I would say, worked upon, or most project centric domains. So they are, many of them we will be covering. So today we'll learn banking, insurance, policy, and now we'll be starting with HRMS, that stands for Human Resource Management System. Okay. So basically, what is an HR if I ask you? In any organization. So because you have a screen in front of me, you would come up and say, Prerna, HR is the person or a team who will perform all these activities. Yes or no? Yeah. Anyone
Yes, sir.
who has, yeah, most of you who have worked in organization will echo with me that HR has, you know, or should do most of these all attributes or services or activities in an organization. Okay. So earlier, if you ask me, prior to this Scrum, I would say implementation, or in earlier days, life of HR was in a way quite simple. Okay, as there was no technology involved, the volume of employees was comparatively lesser, and maybe the services offered were less, but now as we see there is a boom in industry. There are so many technological advances happening. People are working from home, people are working in hybrid. So trust me, HR's work has actually increased. Okay. So we need to know what it is, how they handle, what are the main segments to it, what are the main activities. And it's always a good to know domain, because even tomorrow when you go in organization, when you work as an employee, you should know what rights you have, what accesses you can have, and for which which of the functions or activities you can reach out to your HR, that is a human resource point of contact. Everybody with me on this? Yes. Yes, everybody clear why we are learning HR, and how it would help us? Yes,
Yes.
guys.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now let us get into the understanding. Broadly, we have 8 activities or services offered by HR. We mentioned on the screen. May I request every one of you to read it one by one, starting with payroll? Yes,
Payroll
in
management and
clockwise
processing,
manner. Yes, go ahead.
Payroll management and processing.
Next.
risk mitigation and complaints,
Mm-hmm.
Time and attendance management.
Right. Next. Thank you. Yes, everybody who is on mute, please unmute and read out.
Employee benefits management,
Yes. Next point.
Paperless HR.
Yes. Last 3.
Talent,
Anyone?
talent management.
Talent management, absolutely. Yes.
decision support,
Second last, decision support, right? Perfect. And last but not the least,
recruiting and onboarding.
yes. Okay. Let us start with recruiting and onboarding, okay? Because it is one of the starting point of any new, I would say, employee in an organization. Now, as you all know, everybody here knows recruiting and onboarding. Anyone here who is not aware of this terminology, please tell me, or please share a thumbs up, who might not know what is recruiting and onboarding, just to know that we are on the same page. Okay. So recruiting and onboarding simply means whenever you hire any new employee, they are starting to work in your organization. So recruiting is the first step where you actually find the people, find the candidates suitable for the job, and you go ahead, take your interviews, set up your interviews with the appropriate people, and try to get all the background checked. So it's honestly it's a very lengthy process. So basically, starting with finding a right candidate, setting up their interviews, making sure they're going through all the rounds, and then having the interview feedback shared with the right appropriate seniors or right appropriate people who are hiring for the job. And then when everything goes well, when everything, I mean, if the candidate is suitable, the interviews are, have gone pretty good, then you roll out an offer. So creation of offer. Offer means everybody knows, yeah, the salary, the remuneration that they will be getting. So offer creation, offer, giving them the offer. Then if they agree, then great. If they don't, then, kind of, uh, have to have a discussion on the offer given, and then once they agree, then confirmation of that candidate, and asking for a particular date. This is I'm sharing in extreme detail because this is a real life scenario. Then whenever they commit to a date, like for example in India the notice period is quite large. It's roughly 2 to 3 months, or sometimes 45 days. Not generally 1 month is very less, but we do have on an average 2 months of notice period. So understanding that what will be the starting date of the new employee or candidate. So from the from that, planning their onboarding, that okay, they would join after 2 months. So roughly maybe we are looking at, I would say, August mid. about their joining, then which date, and then generally in bigger organization and bigger firms, the onboarding is clubbed. When I say clubbed, like how we start a new batch, with all of you, having a decent amount of candidates, and then we come up with the batch. So same way, onboarding is generally clubbed. So we have multiple people starting on the same day. So you all must be knowing there is an onboarding welcome, I would say, gathering or meeting where they tell us about the organization. Then in case if you're getting laptops or whatever, machinery from your company, that would be distributed. Or sometimes many a times, they give you some extra, I would say, welcome kits. So that will have a office logo bag, maybe water bottle or whatnot, some of the things, a diary, a pen, and things like that. So that's your welcome kit. So this is, I'm sharing in a very simple manner, but this is a onboarding process wherein a new candidate joins your organization, and that is their first day, and you have to ensure that they get well equipped, or at least they get comfortable about the organization's processes, policies, and everything. So even in this first day, on the first day, or at least in the beginning of first 2 3 days, it's HR's duty to set up discussions regarding their salary questions, or how the remuneration will look like. I mean, it's a very general discussion. Most of the big organizations have it just to know that people would know that okay, they have to file their taxes by this time. This is how the salary structure is, and it's not specific to everyone. Okay, it's a very generic discussion, because we will have people or candidates joining from very junior level to mid or senior level, so we don't have to disclose anyone's salary. But then these are the meetings that happens, and that takes your almost entire day or a couple of days initially. And it is a very important activity from HR point of view, hiring and onboarding new candidates. Because why we are doing it, we need these candidates to start our work. There are projects waiting in pipeline, there are projects which are waiting for the suitable candidates, and these are the candidates. That means having the first impression, HR really focuses on it very well and take it forward. Any doubt in this? HR pay, onboarding? Yes.
No.
No
No.
recruitment.
No.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah. So we really pray, and we really work towards very soon onboarding of yours into good organizations. Once you finish this session, once you finish this track, so that is the purpose. So after that, one of the most important segment, I'll say, is payroll management and processing. Now I know you don't need to. I mean, you don't need me to explain this. Everybody knows payroll means how your salary comes in, and that processing whenever it happens. So generally, when an HR shares an offer, okay, you have your salary structure in that. So you get a vague idea that, okay, roughly this must be your salary. But then in bigger organization, it is not done on a single basis, right? They must be having their batch files, or they have automated salary jobs wherein everyone's salary is calculated as per their attendance, as per their level, as per their offers, whatever they have been offered. And then that salary has to go on a particular day that has been assigned by organization. Generally, in bigger organizations, it is towards the end of the month. So like 28, 29, 30th. And trust me, most of the times that date is never missed. Because you see, many people have their EMIs, have their SIPs planned in the, every month, in the beginning of the month generally. So you better give the payout, so people will have sufficient funds in their account. And it's a very important job. Okay. So not only creating of remuneration or salary, but also disbursing or distributing, or giving the salary on time. It is one of the crucial task of HRs. Yes, everybody agrees. Yes, payroll, because I think that's the only motivation most of the employees come in, and they work so hard, because we really need that paycheck after our work completion. Okay, so it's one of the important task of HR. Next is risk mitigation and compliance. Okay, Now, you might have this question, what kind of risk HR might have and what kind of education we are saying. So many a times there are breaches happening. Like there are people who, who might who might join some other company as well, or there are candidates who come in from rival companies, and they are not a serious candidates. They're here to gather some information, or there are some you find some I would say non-comfortable detail about some candidates with their background checking. So in that case, there has to be some questions, there has to be some clarifications taken from the customer. And in many a times in your organization also, there can be some security risk, the people joining in from very close to rival firms, associated companies. So many, in many organizations, you have a clause that you cannot directly join from a competitive firm. They ask you, have you worked in this organization? Have you worked in any associated organization with that, the rival company? So they need that declaration. So if you say that, okay, I have not worked and I have not associated, that all is properly checked. That is called as background check in proper setup. So that is also one of the very important tasks of HR, because nowadays, as the fraudulent activities or the malicious practices might be increasing, so we need to know that people who are coming in our organizations, they are right people. They are, uh, they will not harm our organization's reputation. So that is why risk mitigation and compliance in every form. It's not only with respect to employees, but with respect to organization doing their activities. Like, we have CSR activity, that is social, corporate social responsibilities. We have some charitable actions or activities going on in organization. We need to have proper discipline in your organization. So there are many things that HR needs to compliance on. All the background verification documents of every candidates or every employee needs to be present. Their required details needs to be present about them, their families, their insurance detail, their, so everything that HR requires from employee, from the information point of view, that all needs to be screened and I would say scrutinized. Okay. It's not always taken on the face value. There is background verification progress, and which is very helpful to know that the candidate is genuine or not. And that also helps us with our compliance. Okay. So in future, whenever you have a compliance and you get queries, you'll always have all the documentation and all the evidences ready. Everybody with me on this? Yes, compliance and risk mitigation. Any doubts?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. No.
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 Okay. So that's what the term looks so simple, but in real life, HR really has a lot of activities, a lot of responsibilities. And attendance management, I don't think so. I need to explain. Everybody knows that you have a timesheet. Generally nowadays, it's biometric or it is your card based entry, so you don't need to sign any muster like in earlier golden days. But your entry is validated, and how many times you leave the organization for whatever reason, you might be taking some tea coffee breaks, or you might be going out for a stroll, but then that all is being monitored. And again, your sick leaves, your planned leaves, whatever your attendance, your in your office, that is closely monitored, and that shows how sincere you are, and how well planned your holidays or vacations are. So that is also one of, and by the way, your salary, every month salary depends on that. If there is any I would say unplanned leave or absenteeism, then it should affect in your payout because you're not been there, right? That's also an important part. Employee benefits management. So yes, all the provident fund, all the employee welfare, maybe some additional services or additional freebies they are giving, like, covering your parents with your along with your spouse and kids as into insurance, having very less premium as an insurance, or supporting your child's school fees, to some extent. That also comes in employee benefits. Okay. Maybe giving some books in discount prices, or giving some scholarship to kids, bright kids, That can be also again in the form of welfare. So all these things definitely most of the organizations offer. So it's not only easy to offer and forget, but to keep a track of it, to see how the kid is performing, that what you're giving scholarship for. And they see there can be many aspects. Okay, I am sharing most of that aspects that I have experienced or I have come across, but many organization can do these things in many different ways. Like somebody might like in case of any health emergencies, you can get health benefits like insurance coverage, and also in many organization you get free ambulance services, free upgrades in hospitals, so whatnot. Depending on the organization level, they provide the services. Okay, then yes, paperless HR, we are so looking forward to it. That means no papers involved. Everything should be digital. Everything should be online. Online submission of the form, online submission of the document. It sounds pretty good, but most of the times, I mean, see, bigger and technologically advanced organizations are doing that. Definitely yes, but many organizations still will ask you for the hard copies, which is really. I mean, not happening, because you have all your documents online, you have all your social security details or whatever things they ask for, like your in India, the Aadhaar card, or sometimes the passport details, or whatever is non confidential, that can be definitely shared over digital media. So you can either upload in a uh, HR server or you in HR portal, or you can actually mail them, whatever works or whatever method they accept your documentation. So yes, we are looking at paperless HR, because see, having so many documentation of so many employees is humanly impossible, to keep a track of. At least on online setup, we know it is virtually present. We can Everybody can access it, and then it can get deteriorated. You have the available. Whenever you click, the data is there. In case of paper documents, if you misplace it, if you don't have it, I mean, somebody keeps it, or if it just gets damaged, it is a very difficult thing to manage. So we prefer everything paperless. Okay, that's one of the new ways of implementation. Then yes, talent management, definitely, as we say, in onboarding or in recruiting, we started with this discussion wherein a customer starts, sorry, not a customer, HR people or HR team starts hunting or starts searching for the suitable candidates, right? So even before doing that outside our organization, we also give an opportunity that is called as IJP, that is internal job posting, wherein we encourage our own employees to work in different teams or different projects. So that why it is important, because and why it is useful, because first of all, that employee is known to you, that is in your organization. So there is no board onboarding, there is no new salary structure, so many activities gets avoided, as well as you have the trust factor that okay, this person has worked in an organization for last 3 4 years, they are aware about the policies, they are aware about the work culture. So yes, if they want to expand their knowledge, or they want to expand their profile, learn something more or different, so we give them the flexibility of IJP, that is internal job posting. But if that is not the case, if we are not getting suitable resources in this manner, then definitely we have to look out. And that is where your talent management comes in, wherein you as a team, as an HR team, start searching for good resources, good candidates who are knowledgeable, who have all the uh, you know skill set required for our what projects or our work. So that hunting, I will say, is also called as talent hunt. Okay, so that starts. Okay, so we also have talent pool in organizations, wherein some of the resources who are in between projects, they are they are in the pool, so they are currently not working on or not actively working on any projects, but we have those resources, so we can utilize them for any projects if that is upcoming, instead of getting a resource from outside. So many factors are involved. Okay. So the the answer to the question is HR's work is really dynamic. You have to be on your toes and you have to ensure that everything goes smooth, and we have resources ongoing and we have ongoing trainings happening. So everybody, doesn't feel left out, and they are also, your skill set is also improved. Okay. So all these things come under HR. So last but not the least, decision support. So yes, so many a time, if somebody see if there is any, I would say clash, or if there is any argument, and the things are and the cases are referred to HR. If in case there is any malpractices, and in case of any partiality cases, raised, or in case of any POS, that is, prevention of sexual harassment, that kind of scenario happens. So all these activities are routed through HR. I'm not saying in HR is the final decision maker, but HR is the point of contact for any complaints, any grievance, any I would say issue raised. Sadly, in real life, I'll be very honest. It depends on the quality of the HR team and the organization, but many a times the responses are weaker or slower. But as the times are changing, HRs are getting more, I would say, efficient and more reliable. So yes, that helps. And having transparency and having all the evidences of whatever issue that we have, it really helps the HR to take any decision, right? So that decision can be suspending someone from work because of malpractices, or ensuring, or assuring someone that okay, things will streamline, or to get them into good projects, or to ensure that their, I would say, learning and growth is maintained, or it is happening on regular basis. So when in future, if you get a project from HRMS background, be sure that at least most of these activities will be there. Those needs to be developed in the form of a project, maybe a mobile application, or or Windows application, or a website, wherein HR can fulfill their every requirements and demands, and their ask, and whatever details they need from customer or from the employees. So this is a very interesting and real life and day to day activity domain, guys, because as you work in organization, HRs are also work in organization. Generally, the poor people are blamed that they only set up the festivities or festival celebrations, or rangoli making competition or stuff like that. But no, along with all that employee bonding activities, HR do have, these functionalities or these functions to operate. And trust me, they are generally occupied with all the activities, because there is continuous onboarding going on. There's continuous some of the other decision making that is happening. There are continuous queries coming in from new and old employees. So as a team, they are there to help you, and that is what this domain stands for. Yes. So today we will be learning about different domains. We started with HRMS. So guys, any doubts anyone has in this, any of the functionalities, any of the, I would say, aspects, do you feel that you need further explanation? Yes?
No, Guru.
No,
No.
everybody good with this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes? Yes. Okay. So for the further domains, let me check with Gaurav if he's there. So Gaurav, are you there?
Yeah, Prerna, I'm there.
Yeah.
If
Yeah. Would you like to continue with other domains which you
yeah,
explained?
sure.
Sure. Okay. Should I stop share?
Yes. Are we done with the insurance or sorry, healthcare or
No, no, I'm
payment?
done with HRMS.
Okay. Okay, fine. No problem.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So great. We are looking at the various domains. Okay. So one thing I would like to tell you from today or tomorrow onwards, any domain is going to be quite easy for you. Okay. Do you want the domains to learn in an easy manner, everyone? how you can learn any domain in the easiest manner and still you can get placed as a business analyst. So this is a trick I'm going to share with you, what exactly you need to learn. Anyone knows that what is the trick to learn any domain faster? You can say yes or no. The question is to all of you, Aparna, Prerna, Aparna, Jubran, Kajal, Geeta, Swarupa, Dev. How we can learn any domain in a very less time? Do you want to know?
Yes.
Okay, no
Yes.
idea. Okay, great.
I know the answer, but I think I'll let you speak to other mates.
Yeah, fine, fantastic. So thank you, Dev. Because you know that, I would like to invite, okay, tell me how anyone can explore and get to know or understand any domain's knowledge in a faster manner. Let's hear from Dev. So what is his take? Yeah, Dev.
So, so the work of BA and Scrum Master and PO remains the same, regardless any domain, as long as you understand the life cycle of those domain. So, they do the same thing basically, regardless whether you work for insurance or finance or oil and gas.
Right.
The duties of BA and Scrum Master. As
Yes.
long as I said, you understand the life cycle. Life
Life
cycle
cycle.
of every domain is the same process.
Yeah. Fine. Thank you, Dev, for saying that. So, understand, if you are recognizing or getting introduced with any new domain and you are preparing for that, the key understanding is that what exactly you need to explore further is what Dev said. And what he said, he used two words. What was that? In fact, it's in a one word. Yeah, Geeta?
Life cycle.
Life cycle, that's a brilliant. So you need to be just worried about the life cycle. The moment you get to crack the hack of what is the life cycle of utility, telecom, or oil and gas, you will be able to get into the detail of that. And that's how we are going to look at that, how healthcare life cycle would be, how payment life cycle will be in the banking, and how insurance life cycle would be, or policy life cycle would be in insurance. So when it comes to healthcare, let me ask you this, that the moment you hear about the healthcare, what all product or service comes in your mind? Tell me quickly. Anything comes in your mind.
Insurance.
Okay, when you hear healthcare, you also get to know about insurance. Okay, now again, let me repeat. So I'm not saying that it is wrong answer. The moment you hear the word healthcare, what all product and service comes in your mind? So tell me other than insurance now.
Prescription drugs.
Prescription drugs. Okay, so you can stop there. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your answer. The moment you hear about the drugs, tell me the quick name which the world might be knowing. Anyone?
Pharmaceuticals.
Some you said something. I could not register that. Aspirin or something I heard.
No, pharmaceuticals and
Pharmaceutical,
hospitals.
pharmaceutical in hospital. That's right. Okay, so I want to take you all back back during pandemic time. Okay, just take your in memory when it was pandemic and the world was trying to explore the drug for COVID. Right? You remember those days, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah, and the vaccination came into the market. When the vaccination came into the market, first there was only one dominant, maybe in your market, in your US market, or maybe in whatever country you are in. It was introduced, it grew, and there was a maturity time came when there were many rivalry came into the market. Okay, and because the rivalry started coming into the market, the existing one started seeing the decline phase of it. Do you all agree? This happened in that way, yes or no? And the one who was introduced who introduced themselves as a vaccination dominator into the market, they when see the decline because of the continued growth took the maturity when rivalry came into the market. Then there was a talk in the town about the going oral. Okay, so the pharmaceutical companies started talking about that they will also be introducing some oral pills or powder other than vaccination. Do you all remember those days? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So what was there? So if tomorrow anything happens, so likewise the healthcare industry works. They first introduce something which is very uncommon and it is unique into the market. They continue to grow. Then rivalry comes, and then they see the maturity, and then the existing one see the decline phase, and again they reintroduce something with tweak or some new variant of it, and then it gets introduced. Then again it continues to grow, and then because of the rivalry or with new product they see the maturity and then continue to decline in the market, and then they come with the reintroduction of something new. So this is how the healthcare industry works. They will always see these phases when it comes to healthcare. Okay, and this is how it continues to function. Okay, and in every introduction sales will be involved, in every growth sales profit and revenue will be installed. In maturity lot of data visualization or data analysis will be involved. In decline there will be lot of approval rejection or unauthorization or authorization revoking step will be involved, and again the reintroduction shall happen. So this is how healthcare product or services work. With me so far, everyone? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, because you have looked at it, let me go back to the payment. Okay, when we are saying the payment under the banking industry, in the bank all over the world, in every single country, there is always a central bank in every country. Okay, are you aware of that? In every country, there is always a central bank. Do you have idea about it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So in USA, there is a central bank, and this central bank will be known as what?
Bank of
No. So,
Federal
okay,
Bank.
how many? Oh, yes, it's a Federal Reserve System. It's a federal bank. This is a Federal Reserve System. In India, it's a RBI, this Reserve Bank of India. I hope all of you are aware. In India, it's RBI, right?
Yes.
Reserve Bank of India. But in USA, it's a Federal Reserve System. Okay. And what we are going to see at that payment life cycle with the understanding that how payment flows or payment flow completes. So as far as we know that every single human being holds a bank account in a bank. We all know about it. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. And likewise, every single small bank, corporate bank, they also hold their bank account in a central bank of the country. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, if you are aware, that's good. Otherwise, this you can register as a new information for you. What happens exactly when you hold certain amount in your account in your bank, that is also tagged whatever the cumulative fund bank your bank holds in the central bank. So let's look at the one case study considering that you have a friend A and friend B. Let's look at the example of friend A and friend B, and every your friend A holds a bank account in bank A, and also your another friend B holds the bank account in bank B. So how things move? So what exactly happens? Imagine that customer A, your friend A, has $1 million in his bank A. How many dollar he has?
One.
Everyone, $1 million.
1 million.
Yes. So what exactly he does? So initially over the phone, customer B who is the friend, asks for a request borrowing $1 million in bank account. They are very good friend, like means uh, since childhood or something. They are very in good terms, and they decided to complete this transaction. So customer A creates any instrument, or instrument could be anything, using DD, or check, or through demand draft, or any which way, or any bill. Okay. Or the easiest way is that fund transfer online. Okay, this is way. So what he does, customer A request his own bank A to transfer $1 million to customer B's bank account. Okay, so how does it happen? The moment customer A sends the message of the fund transfer to his own bank, then bank A has to send a message. What he has to send?
Message.
Message to the Federal Reserve System that $1 million can be untagged. First, what will happen? Bank A will untag the $1 million. When they will untag, it means that debit happens. What will happen? What happens when bank A takes
Debit.
out? Debit happens. When debit happens, now this entire $1 million is held by bank A, but the physical money not necessarily has to move, but the information has to move. What has to move?
Information has to move.
Information. And in that case, when the fund transfer initiates or gets triggered, bank A generally sends a quick message in couple of seconds, reaches to the Federal Reserve System, and when Federal Reserve System authorize that, they also untag the bank A's $1 million from their name. Means debit happens at bank A level, and they tag it back to bank B, means credit happens at bank B level. And what bank B does, bank B untag from them and tag to the customer B, and that's how in the customer B's position the credit of $1 million becomes visible. But how does it actually happen? So whenever bank A sends a message, such messages are called as swift message. What they are called as?
Swift
Swift
message.
message.
Swift message. These swift messages are not just the physical SMS or something like that. So these swift messages are encoded. So there is spatial code written, and is in spatial format. The swift messages are written. Okay. So the question may come is that what is swift message? Any idea what is swift message, everyone?
It is a message sent from the bank in an encoded format.
Yes, yes, you are right. So, Swift message is a standardized financial message used for secured communication between financial institution, primarily for international transaction. Okay, and the full form of Swift is Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. Okay, I will repeat that. The full form of SWIFT is Society for Worldwide Bank, Worldwide Interbank. I is for Interbank Financial Telecommunication. Okay, so this is your Swift message. Okay, so what they do, they have the standard format, secured format, and it will be for global reach. There are multiple type of Swift message. Say for MT is there, MT103 and all. So this is for money transfer. MT is for what?
Money
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 transfer.
transfer.
Money transfer. Then you might have heard of the wire payments. Yeah, wire transfer and all. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is for international wire transfer for the payment. So even the wire messages are there. Again, there is another one which is called as trade finance. Okay. So this is the another one in the payment itself. So what exactly happened? This is for the credit guarantee and other trade finance instrument. So these are used. But when money transfer is coming, then you need to know just few of the numbers, like whether it is going to just for saving or for just a quick money transfer, whether it is if Swift message is empty denotes money transfer, then whether it is 102, 103, there are the codes, and in specific format these messages are written. And what happens in this format, only the amount varies. Okay, if it is banks are changes, banks code will change, okay, in those format, and the message will remain in the same format and sent and triggers into Federal Reserve System. Federal Reserve System watches that and they execute the transfer. Okay, when you are going to read this summarize the same. Customer A requests $1 million in its depository account at bank A to be transferred to customer B's account located at another depository institution over here. Bank A transfer $1 million for customer A by sending a message over Fedwire. Authorize the Federal Reserve to electronically debit bank A's account at the Reserve Bank for $1 million to transfer the $1 million to bank B's account. Similar thing. Okay, so here you see that by sending a message over Fedwire. Okay, so Fedwire is the platform on which the message is written and then it gets authorized by the Federal Reserve System, and electronically these happen. There is no physical movement involved. There is no physical movement involved. Got it, everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
If you were thinking that the physical movement happened, this does not happen. Further, what happens at the third place, once the payment of $1 million credited to bank B's account, the Fedwire fund transfer is completed. For the most funds transfer involving online depository institution, the time that elapsed between when a funds transfer message is sent and when a payment is received is matter of second. Matters of what, everyone?
Seconds.
Second, it doesn't take the whole day. Okay, and at the finally, once the Fedwire transaction is completed, bank B makes the designated $1 million payable and available to customer B on the payment occurs. So this is how the simple payment flows. Yes, with me so far, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I have one question, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
This local bank is transferring amount and this local bank is receiving. This federal bank, it is a central bank. It just transfers a message only, or is there any function it does like?
No, for now, just the messaging transfer happens. Okay, the cash system does not go here and there, but yeah, everything holds here in this house. This is the Federal Reserve System. Okay,
No.
so only tagging and tagging happens. Okay,
Okay. Yes.
yeah, cool. Thank you for your question. So what we have covered so far? We have covered so far payment, we have covered so far healthcare, we have covered so far HRMS. Now let's move to something very important. Can we move to the next domain, everyone?
Oh,
Say yes,
Yes.
if you are ready for that. Okay,
Yes.
yes.
cool.
Yes.
Now let me move. So next one is yeah, next one is this. Okay, what do you read? What is the name of this domain?
Policy life.
Policy life cycle.
Policy life cycle.
Policy life cycle under insurance domain. Okay, so insurance domain has policy life cycle. We are looking at it, or say life or non-life policies everyone nowadays take nowadays, and since ages people are taking buying insurance, whether it is life or non-life. While this is happening, I believe that most of you or all of you might have bought one or two, at least what do you call one or two insurances, whether it is life, non-life, yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's take the example. So few term we need to know. Okay. So first we will do. Okay. So first, whenever you purchase a policy, okay, how it is referred as? What type of policy it is called as?
Life
Fresh
or
policy. Yeah, live or non-live, wait. Excuse me, guys, just give me a second. Yeah. So fresh policy, how you will treat it. Fresh policies would be known as when you say you have bought a policy at your home. So what adjective this policy will hold? What type of policy generally? If you are a customer, you have bought a policy from some insurance company, what you have given to what you have given to insurance company?
Money.
Personal details.
Personal detail, but that's okay. But now that you have bought a policy, complete policy, after buying the complete policy, what they have gotten from you, a company have gotten from you what? Okay,
Money.
money. Okay, so money will have another term. What it, if business is getting money, so it can be termed as a new business. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes.
insurance company has gotten a new business from you. Okay, new business, and there, whenever policy is called, a policy is bought, it can be termed as new business. Okay, with me
Yes.
so far?
Yes.
So this
Yes.
will be called new business. So now, before new business happens, this policy, before it becomes the new business, you inquire for this. Yes or no?
Yes.
Before it becomes new business, you inquire for this.
Yes.
So when you inquire for this, mere by inquiring, you undergo, say for example, there is a portal and that portal compares the policy into multiple insurance company, and then they give you the rate of it. Okay, then they give you rate of this, and based on the benefit, what do you decide, which policy to buy, which policy not to buy, you decide. Yes or no?
Yes.
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 Yeah. So when you are inquiring, you are answering certain question. They will ask your name, age, then more other question. If you are going for your car insurance or property insurance or your own insurance, they will be asking lot many questions from you. Do you know this? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Are you aware
Yes.
of this? Yeah, you
Yes.
are asked question. These questions are called as underwriting question. What it is called as?
Underwriting
Underwriting.
question.
Yeah, underwriting question. If underwriting questions are satisfactory, then there is a role in insurance industry, and that role, that position itself is called as underwriter. What they are called as?
Underwriting.
Underwriter.
Underwriter. If underwriter approves your questions answer, they are satisfied, they issue a policy to you. Okay, they issue what?
A
Policy.
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 And this new policy is termed as new business. But what exactly happens before it gets converted into new policy? The moment they ask you certain question, that gets turned into quotation. What it gets turned into?
Quotation.
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 Quotation. And quotation will have a state which is called as a submit state. Which state it is called as?
Submit state.
Submit state. And this status will remain active. Okay, the submit status, if I'll go ahead with the quotation will undergo first submission, to which you will call it as a submit, then it will remain active. Okay, it will remain active until in the back end, what happens when you answer certain query, what happens, there is a term or there is system which we call it as a rating engine. What we call it as a
Rating.
Rating
rating
engine.
Yeah, rating engine which runs in the back end, and that fetches your policy or premium amount, how much you are going to pay, for how long duration and all. And when you when you pay the bill or the premium, first premium, whatever you pay, then what exactly happens in certain company, this new policy either gets bound, or in certain country it is also called as it gets issued. Okay, so always quotation will undergo, okay, undergo two state: submit and active, and new policy will be either issued or bound. Okay, with me so far? These
Yes.
are the statuses. And meanwhile, the billing will happen and account information gets loaded into the system of the insurance company. Now I have a question to you. Whenever you are having a new business, new policy from a company XYZ insurance company, and you realize that you have given certain information into error, like your name is in error, can you go back and ask for the correction? Any correction? Can you go back to the insurance company after buying the policy? Can you ask for the correction? Yes or no?
Think yes.
Tell,
Think yes, yeah.
yes, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you ask for the correction, then that correction will be called as what? New business. When you apply certain correction or certain changes, that will be called as what?
Review.
Any other term if you remember?
Progress.
Okay. There is a term which you might have heard. It is called as endorsement. What it is called as?
Endorsement.
Endorsement.
Endorsement. And what happens when you go for the endorsement? What happens? Again, it is first gets submitted, remains active, then rating engine runs what all the changes you have made. Is it with the name, or it is with the address, or is it with the age or date of birth, or whatever it is? The rating engine recalculates the premium, and then either they bill to the customer or refund to the customer based on the changes that has been reflected. Okay, and when this billing gets over, then this endorsement either gets bound or issued. Again, they will have the similar during the endorsement. When it is just requested, it becomes submit and then active, and the moment billing completes, it gets bound or issued depending upon in which country this is happening. With me so far?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Say, for example, you have bought a new business, a new policy, and you realize, oh, my God, what I did was I went for buying this from Allianz. Say, for example, I wanted to go for Avaya, or I wanted to go for some XYZ, another insurance company. What you will do? Say, for example, this business has gone to Allianz. I don't know, it's there in the USA. Allianz is there in the USA? Yes or
No,
no?
no.
Okay, tell me any other company which is there in the USA, any insurance company.
United.
United Insurance. Okay, so this is United. And tell me another one which is also there.
Aliens is
A-
there, sir.
Allianz is there in the USA?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll consider United and Allianz. So you bought from Allianz and you decided that I went in error. I did not go ahead with Allianz. What you will do? Although you have bought it from Allianz, okay, what you should be doing? When you have bought, you realize I have bought in error, what you should be doing? That's my question. Quickly tell. Can you go back and buy a new one, new policy? Yes, no?
We'll try to ask for a match with other company.
Match with another company. Okay. Anything else? Anything else? Guys, you have to be responsive faster. We have very less time. and we have to
Yes.
complete it.
Yes, you can buy.
Okay, you can buy a new one. So what you will do with the existing one? What you will do with the existing one?
Terminate.
As to
Terminate.
match.
Okay. Ask, match, or terminate. Match will happen, but what you will do with the existing one? So you can terminate. And for termination, there is a state, there is a term to which the world uses in the insurance industry. What they do? They cancel the policy. What they do?
Cancel.
Cancel.
Cancel. So they can cancel it. Again, when cancel is requested, first it is submitted and then it remains active until billing gets retriggered, or before billing the rating engine will also rerun, and when rating engine will rerun, it will determine how much refund to be given or how much extra amount to be taken, and then the billing gets completed, and when billing gets completed, then the cancellation gets bound or issued. Okay, the status changes. With me so far?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now what happens when you canceled anything, you realize that, oh, cancellation I did under influence of a broker. Before underwriter, there is always a broker who initiates or who requests you to buy a policy, and he gathers all the information from you to pass it to underwriter. Okay, so you realize, okay, so I was in the United's insurances broker's influence, and that's the reason I went ahead and I cancelled my insurance. Okay, I wanted to continue with Allianz only. So in that case, in that realization, what you can choose to do? What you can choose to do?
You can claim.
Come again?
You can claim.
Complain. Did I hear complain? What did I hear? I could not hear well. Your voice was
Reinstate.
very
Reinstate, sir.
reinstate. Yes, absolutely right. Brilliant. So there is another term to which we call it as a reinstatement. So cancelled policy can be reinstated, and you request for the reinstatement on the same policy online, and or through customer care call, they will initiate online reinstatement. When reinstatement is requested, it will be submitted and will remain active until the rating engine reruns and asks for the money, and when the billing gets completed, it will be issued or what is the another term? Issued or
Cancel.
issued or bound. So this is cancellation bound or cancellation issued. When you do endorsement, it is endorsement bound or endorsement issued. These are the important statuses that you need to know. If you're going to some country, they say either cancellation issued, or in some country they say the cancellation bound. Okay, or it also depends upon the company to company. All right, when you go, you will see these in the system, in the software system. Okay, what is happening, how the status changes, and then you have the realization what is completed, what it is not completed. Now, so I have a question to you. Say, for example, you were running the new business, and new business for certain term you will be running the new policy. You might have bought for certain term for 1 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, or 10 years, or you decided that every month you will pay the premium, or you decide every year you will pay the premium. Say for this is the yearly plan. Okay, the next year you might have forgotten because you have bought it once, you paid the premium once. For the second year, what should happen? Second year, what should happen?
Fine.
You Fine. Okay, you bought one new policy, and that policy says that every year you have to pay the premium. in the month of March, say for example. Now in 2024 March, you paid the premium. Now before 2025 March, what happens? This insurance company reminds you
Yeah.
about the next premium.
We'll receive
Yeah,
any email or something.
you will receive any email. Okay, what will happen despite the email if you don't pay the premium? If you forget to pay the premium despite email, SMS, everything, you forget to pay the premium for the entire year, you forget all those 2 3 premiums which were upcoming, what may happen?
The policy will lapse.
The
We-
policy will lapse, and to avoid this policy to lapse, what you should have done? You are absolutely right. The policy will lapse if you will not pay the premium. And to avoid this lapsing, what you should be doing?
Pay on time.
Pay on time. And this payment will be termed as what? For the next year, it will be termed as what? Will it still be remain new business?
No.
No.
Then it will be called as what?
Claims.
No, it won't be called as claims. You continued the payment, and this new business, you have revived it, and this will be termed as what?
So
Automate
the
payment.
policy was lapsed, you made a payment, so it's reinstating.
No,
Yeah.
automate payment